Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? If you're new here, my name is Dani Christine. I'm a childcare business owner, consultant, and digital content creator on childcaresites.com, where you can get access to courses, consultations, and free webinars to help you start and succeed in your childcare business. This video that you are about to watch is the replay of our most recent webinar that we held on Wednesday, June 17th with Shante and Rhainie from Discovery Lane. These lovely ladies are really about to dive deep into their distance learning program that they've developed and implemented within their preschool program over the past couple of months. And when I tell you, it is so thorough, thought out, and just in depth. It is kind of overwhelming, all the amazing information that they gave. So definitely stay through until the end to see all of the amazing content that they are going to be sharing with you guys. As you watch, let me know in the comments below what some actions are that you are going to be taking after learning about all of these amazing tools and resources. I hope you enjoy. All right, are you ladies ready?
Yep.
Okay. So for those of us that are here live or watching and don't know, I just want to give you a little bit of information about Shante and Rhainie from Discovery Lane. Alice and Shante Lane are co-owners and co-founders of Discovery Lane. The idea for Discovery Lane came in the summer of 2014. They were compelled to open an educational program tailored to the needs of the community and enrich the lives of families. Discovery Lane was established with the firm belief that students do not come into this world as blank slates, but apprentices ready to learn and offer a world of knowledge. Isn't that beautiful? Shante Lane Tamarat has been in education for 11 years. She has extensive experience working with students in special education. Shante has taught in both Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. She holds a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in elementary and special education, and she is currently a doctoral candidate at George Mason University. Thank you so much for being here, Shante.
Yep, absolutely.
And Rhainie.
Yep, and we'll have a dedicated, maybe I'll do Ms. Rain's bio. I'll speak to you, Ms. Rain, when we get to the slides. But thank you for that introduction.
No problem. Thank you, ladies. Whenever you're ready, you can get started.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to do my very best, everyone that's watching, to stay very committed to the 1 hour. I'm a person that really values people's time, and so I do appreciate you all being here this evening. I'm not sure what the weather is where everyone else here is, but here in the DMV area, which we call it, I live in the V of the DMV, it is raining really, really hard. Yeah, that's what we're experiencing here. All right, so we're going to unpack today and really explore distance learning tools to support early childhood learners during COVID-19. I really also want you to think about this also in ways in which you can use this even to pivot your business. I'm not sure all the different professions we have here, like as far as teachers or administrators. You can certainly write that in the chat. And so we welcome that dialogue. So just a few housekeeping things. As stated, you'll receive a recording of this webinar. You'll also receive a certificate of attendance, and you just put your name on it. You'll receive a collection of distance learning digital tools. So I shared with Dani a link, so she'll share that link with you all, and it's just a web page with a ton of hyperlinks and videos of all those different things that we're going to speak about today. So just try to be as engaged as you can. I know it's very it's intuitive to write a lot of notes, so let's just try to be there and be focused. Don't worry, we're going to give you all the information, and you'll have our contact information if you have questions after. If you have any questions, just type them in the Q&A as we go, and we'll be responsive to those as we go along. And if you need any technical support, you can visit zoom.support.us. All right. So as stated, my name is Shante. I think my introduction was fine. So I won't go any further than what Dani stated, but I will, I know this is an opportunity for Ms. Rain to introduce herself, but since I was introduced, I will introduce Ms. Rain. So Ms. Rain is our assistant director at Discovery Lane. She's gonna have to help me out a little bit here with how long she's been here. So Ms. Rain came in the year of, Ms. Rain, help me out.
2017. So it's
There. Perfect. There we go. So she's been with us for about almost 3 years, right? Okay, 3 years. Yeah. So she started up as a partner teacher at our program, and she, she's family, so she just kept working her way, and now she is our assistant director. She's a very intricate part in the heartbeat of our program, and she ensures that our families sort of know the ins and outs, and that our teachers are supportive. She's very collaborative, and Discovery Lane wouldn't operate as well as it does without Miss Rain. So we're certainly very blessed to have her at our school. Did I do well, Miss Rain?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Shante.
All right, awesome. And so I don't think I have a slide about our team, but I do want to talk about our team. So we have a team of teachers that are in our program, and I'm going to speak out their names. Mr. Johnny is our lead teacher. Ms. Bree is our lead teacher. Mr. Chris is our lead teacher. Mr. KJ is going to be our lead teacher in the fall. He's currently a partner teacher. Ms. Kiana is our partner teacher. Miss Olivia is our partner teacher. Miss Griffin is our instructional coach. And Miss Joy is our administrative assistant and our executive assistant. And my mom is the co-owner of Discovery Lane, Miss Alice. So we certainly want to acknowledge all of our team members. And during this crisis, we've been able to keep all of our teaching team full-time, with the exception of like 2 weeks during this pandemic. We've been able to keep them on board. And a lot of it is some of the resources and tools that we're going to share during this presentation. So you know what, at this time, I just want to take a moment, Dana, we can just pull up the poll for what everybody's experience is with technology. So there'll be some delineated options. Yep, it's coming up now. So if you're novice, intermediate, advanced, or expert. And you can just reply, we'll give it a second, and then we will, we'll bring up the results.
Are you guys able to see the results on your end?
Yeah, if you guys could just let us know if you can see it.
No, I was talking about you guys, or do you want me
to? Yeah. We won't do it though. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Did they come through, Dani?
Yeah, we're only one person didn't do it yet, but we can end it if you'd like.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And then we should be able to see the results. Does it say show results?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so if you guys can see here, we have about 50% of our participants are novice, so limited experience, about 38% are intermediate, about one person is advanced, and then no one selected expert. And that's okay, because a lot of the tools that we're going to show you don't necessarily have to be as involved with technology. It's really just about dedicating a bit of time and really finding the platform that works best to deliver services and literature and materials to your families. All right, we can close out the poll, Dani. Perfect, thank you. All right, so here's our agenda for today. We're going to do a bit of background about Discovery Lane. We're going to talk about apps that we use, a virtual trip that we implemented into our program, a virtual open house, summer enrichment program, and for a bonus, we're going to talk about how we did our end of the year celebration virtually, and then we'll dedicate time at the end for Q&A. But of course, you can certainly ask questions throughout the presentation. So Dani did an excellent job of introducing and just saying about our program. But as stated, we are Discovery Lane. Our name came about. My mom was insistent that our last name be in the business. I'm newly married, so my last name is now Tamarot. But yeah, and so that's how we got the name for our business, Discovery Lane. We really started by we wanted to respond to the preschool to prison pipeline, specifically in marginalized communities. And so we wanted to develop a program that would respond and put it into that. And so we developed Discovery Lane with the premise and the spirit of our children are apprentices, and they come into our space of learning with their own set of knowledge and their own set of interests. And we really have an organic curriculum in which is built around their interest. And I can certainly share resources about a Reggio Emilia approach to learning. It's been a phenomenal experience, a phenomenal journey, and I'm so glad to be in the community that we serve. The majority of our families are two-parent headed households, although I do have experience working with a plethora of families. So we do have a lot of family engagement and involvement. We do a lot of school-wide events, book fair, wellness day, fall festival, like I said, exhibition of learning at the end of the school year. So we do quite a bit of comprehensive and supplement to our program. We also have specials at our program. So we partner with an organization called My Gym, which is in this area. It could be national. Soccer shots. We have a culinary art teacher that comes to our school. We have a garden. So we have horticulture. And we also have an art teacher. So those teachers come once a month to deliver content. And we serve organic and healthy meals in our program. So when we were developing Discovery Lane, I really did a lot of extensive research to really look at what were some of the ways in which progressive programs were responding to the needs of the families in their community. All right, so the purpose of the training is detailed here. I'm not going to read it. You guys can just take a moment and just look over it. Kind of is similar to the agenda. So I'll give just a few seconds for everybody just to look over this. Okay, great. And then I will let Ms. Rhainie take it over.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to speak with you today about the various tools we use here at Discovery Lane to organize, interact, and support our families digitally through distance learning. So as you can see here on the slide, some of these logos may seem a little familiar. Some of them may be very foreign to you, but don't worry. We're going to go through each and every one and just explain to you how Edit has tremendously helped us here at Discovery Lane and hopefully how it can help you in your program. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is Google Drive. Google Drive is a free online storage system that is accessible through a Google account. Many of us have those. If you have a Gmail account, you have a Google account. During our initial venture into distance learning, we were looking for something that would allow us to create content as well as share it with our families in one central location, and this allowed that. We shared things like lesson plans, slideshows, photos, videos, and we were able to organize it in such a way that our parents could access it, and like I said, in one central location. And it was great because it was free. And during this whole journey, we really tried to adopt platforms that were no cost to our families or minimal cost to us. So this was great.
Oops, sorry, because the video's playing.
All right, G Suite. As we kind of got the hang of this whole distance learning deal, we ventured into G Suite, which is more business and education centered than a regular Google account. It does have a fee. It has three different levels. Three different levels, which is basic, business, and enterprise, all ranging from $6 to $25. However, through this, it allowed us access to various distance learning tools that we did use later on in our journey. All right, this is the first tool that we ran across through our G Suite account. We absolutely love Google Classroom here at Discovery Lane. It has truly afforded us the opportunity to share information and connect with our families in one central location. It has allowed our educators to do things like post lessons, videos, share tons of content, actually communicate back and forth with our students and parents through commenting on lessons that they may post and any links that they may share. We're going to go through Google Classroom now so I can show you kind of the ins and outs of what it looks like. All right, thank you, Ms. Shante.
No problem.
This is what your view would look like as an educator. As you can see here, you can add various classes. We have 4 classes here at Discovery Lane: Generoso, Grande, Medio, and Piccolo. So in order to kind of see what Google Classroom has to offer, we're going to go into Medio for a little bit. All right, as you click on your class, you're going to see the stream page. And the stream page is basically just a feed of any announcements that you may post for your families. They'll get alerts via email as well of anything that is posted on your stream. So they're aware through stream as well as their email of any lessons that have been posted that day, any announcements. Like I would announce every Tuesday and Thursday morning about our morning meetings and our story times. And families are also able to comment on these different posts as well. So we can go into classwork, and I'll let Ms. Shante speak a little bit about the classwork.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the classwork, you can organize this however is necessary for your program. We organized it based upon like content areas. So story time lessons were here, our resources, art, activities, fine and gross motor, literacy, math, science, sensory, social emotional. And so within these specific, domains, you can detail your lesson. So here's a lesson here. It's Let's Go to the Zoo by Media. And so you click here, and then here's where the teacher can detail out, and this would be shared with the family so the families could see this. They would read the lesson and they can view sort of what all is needed for this lesson. And so that's that. And then what we recommend, sometimes this can be very overwhelming. So like we can see this on the back end. So what we did was we released 2 lessons a day for our kiddos. So you might want to gauge how best to deliver the materials. Sometimes the parents see a lot of this. That was some of the feedback we got from just me being in the public school side and having some colleagues using Google platform or Microsoft Teams. These are other platforms. I'm just seeing a lot could be overwhelming. So we managed that by just having 2 lessons be presented a day, and they would just get an email. With Google Classroom, it does require, I'm not sure if maybe spoke this, but it does require an email with this.
That. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
In order for your students to access any materials you may post on Google Classroom, you will have to create an email that has the same domain as your organization. So for instance, here at Discovery Lane, we have at thediscoverylane.com. So we created emails for our students so that they could log in and access all of our materials. It's actually kind of cute to have our students have actual emails to log in. So that is one thing that you will need your G Suite account for if you're going to employ the Google Classroom platform. And you can create these logins. You can create these emails through your G Suite administration account, and it will cost per user per month.
Yes, correct. So Google Classroom is free, but the email to attach to Google Classroom is not. I would say, I think we probably, including my teaching team, it probably was like $2 something a month for the emails. But again, our families paid for distance learning. This is a service they were paying for. So it was pretty nominal, that monthly fee, and comparative to what the parents were paying for the service. So this was that. So this is pretty much the lesson. Like I said, and then you can see when it was posted. So this is the dates, and then also say if it's not posted, it could be like if it was soon to be posted, it'll just say like it'll be you could put a future date to be released. So you can actually set these for future dates. Okay, and then Ms. Rhainie, you did people, right?
Yeah, we can do
okay, awesome.
So in the People's tab, you'll see a roster of any teachers you have assigned to your classroom. So you are able to assign multiple teachers to your class. That way multiple teachers have access of posting and commenting on anything that the students turn in. You also have the full roster of your students. The highlighted ones are ones that have accepted your invitation and are able to see all of the content that you post. If you click on, as Ms. Shante did, if you click on one, you can see that there are like little icons next to the titles of our lessons, and that means that they have either attached a file or have made a comment, and you're actually able to go in and view any content that they may have uploaded, as well as communicate and comment back on anything that they may have said. So this is one of our kiddos that has posted like little slideshows of her lesson or videos. Thank you, Ms. Shante.
Absolutely. Trying to make sure. Okay, yep, we'll close out of this. We probably can show one more kiddo, maybe one of our kiddos like talking. I think I know who to show. Let me think. I think it was a lesson. Oh man, there's so many. Okay.
Go back up.
Go back up.
And do balloon magic.
Which one was it?
Magic.
Magic.
Balloon magic.
Oh, balloon. Tell me where it is.
Scrolling, keep scrolling. Water, wait, yeah, there goes. Water bottle balloon magic. Right under Play-Doh.
Right under, oh, right here? This one right here, got it. Oh, this is a picture. Oh, okay, this is good too. So yeah, this is one of our kiddos. His mom detailed his lessons here. You can also see where comments were written. Yeah, Ms. Rain wrote a comment, but yeah, there's different ways in which the parents can showcase how the kiddos did their work. Just so you know, that parent did that slideshow. They got very elaborate as time went on. I think it's also a great way for them to keep their own portfolio for their kiddos. Quite a few of our siblings got involved in the activities as well. I think this is a lesson where one of our kiddos' sister got involved. It's ICE investigation. So, yep, you can see here. Yeah, it's so fun watching them. But yeah, this is basically all the lessons they've done and what they turned in, and it's a great way to house everything. And then this last tab is for grades. We don't grade our kiddos things. They're preschool. It's just either they did it or they didn't. And so, yeah, that's just another tab if you wanted to look at that, if you wanted to include that in your program.
Okay.
All right, I'll go back to the slide. Sorry, you guys are at the top of my screen, so it's hard for me to see.
So we'll go ahead and move on to Google Meet, which is our next platform that we implemented. And the great thing is, when we first started distance learning, Google Meet was only exclusive to a G Suite account. Now Google has made it to where even those who have a regular Google account are able to access Google Meet. And this is a video conferencing platform that we use here to do morning meetings and story times with our kiddos, as well as office hours and conferencing with our families.
Oops, sorry, Ms. Rain.
No problem. Unlike Zoom, Google Meet does not require any extra downloading or installation of any application. So all you have to do is just go to your apps on your Google account and just click on the icon and it'll bring it right up. It's very user-friendly. You're able to screen share as well, which is great. So we found it very useful and very easy for our families to navigate when meeting with us.
Yeah, and I think you can have up to 200 people in Google Meet, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a really nice tool that's free, honestly. And we liked it.
All right, Flipgrid. This is another fun platform that we found and absolutely free. This is essentially a video interactive discussion board, if you would call it. So a lot of our families, though parents may be home, they may be doing teleworking or just not able to be as responsive, depending on if if our kiddos have siblings that also need assistance in their distance learning for their school. So this allowed for teachers to post things like expansion questions, demonstrations to lessons, read alouds, and allow for our families to view them at a later time. Unlike Google Meet and Zoom, those are real-time experiences, and sometimes it's not feasible for our families to interact at any specific time that you may have set it for. So this really allowed for our families to go and view content later on. And the fun thing about it is our kiddos can record videos as their responses. They can do things like decorate their pictures and videos and things like that, and can respond to their friends. So as you post a response, it not just only goes to the educator, but it also goes to their peers. So it literally, they can discuss and converse back and forth through video. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of our kiddos. As you can see with the water balloon magic one, if you see my little picture at the corner, I responded to one of our, so that's what it looks like. So I watched his demonstration of one of the lessons that I had posted and responded back to him.
And see what happened. Whoa, what happened, Jason? Yeah, it blew up the balloon. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Good job. Okay. What? It doesn't have to be perfect. Good job. Okay. What letter do we have next? Is that an S? Right? No, you got this. Where's the uppercase S?
Very meticulous, this one.
Good job. Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right. So now we're going to move on to our next platform. And this is actually one that we adopted well before distance learning. We actually use this daily here at Discovery Lane, and some of you may be familiar with Brightwheel. Brightwheel has definitely stepped up to the plate to make sure that educators and programs and families are provided with many solutions and resources during this time. They have many webinars that we attend as well. And one of the things that we found very useful is that they have a lessons tab. So if you want to go into that, Ms. Shante. So under learning, you'll see that there is a lessons tab, and this is where a lot of educators can create lessons and share with their families, as well as they have a tab where they have preloaded lessons that you can use. They'll tell you like different locations as to where this lesson will be most useful. A lot of these are very interactive and gross motor based. So in a time where a lot of kids are probably very sedentary, more than they've ever been, these lessons are really great to kind of get them moving and continue to keep them learning.
Awesome.
All right. And at this time, I'm going to turn actually the rest of it over to Ms. Shante, who's going to discuss our creative media as well as other solutions that we've implemented here.
Awesome. I saw someone's question in the chat. I can't review the question, so Dani will probably tell me those. I don't have hosting privileges, but I saw a question in the chat. Somebody asked, and I'll go ahead and answer it. What do we charge our families? And so we charge our families the weekly tuition rate with a 25% discount. And many of our families stayed on board for that. I would say we had some families disenroll because of financial reasons. And then some families were just, they just were uncertain about, the circumstances. But I would say every parent that did distant learning for our academic school year, which just ended last Friday, stayed the entire time. No one left after it had began. So we had a phenomenal, retention, so to speak, that no family was like, this isn't really worth it. I'm going to take my kid out. They all stayed to the end. And I can tell you some of the things that we did too, because I'm pretty sure there may be some owners in here, or directors, and I can share with you how we are sort of managing the summertime when we get into talking about our virtual summer program and sort of how we implement hold fees for that as well. I'm sure people are definitely wanting to know how this can help to funnel more income into their businesses. And we were also serving children of essential personnel. So that was state funding that we were getting. And so there was actually some delays with getting some of our money, and still is. So this was a great way to keep money generating by having this distance learning. So I want you all to be thinking about that. Like, it is definitely a way to sort of stay connected with families. Obviously, that's very important. You all are frontline. You all are essential to your families. If we didn't learn anything from COVID, is that education is vital to a community and really bridges the gap. Also, I want, a lot of you all to, being just very transparent, this is a great way to continue to have income coming through your business. Okay, so I'll get into Canva. So
yeah, there's a couple of questions that actually came in upon registration. Mm-hmm. Typically, we do a Q&A at the end, but if you'd like, I can give them to you now.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, we can get some intermittently. Yeah, maybe give me how many questions are there?
Just two.
Oh, two. I can take them. Go ahead.
Okay, so someone wants to know, how can one effectively encourage parent participation through distance learning? Like, how did you get your parents to be engaged? And
yeah, good question. I think Ms. Rhainie and I can probably both answer this, because I probably did it more the marketing side as an administrator, and Ms. Rhainie was more of even though she's an administrator, one of our teachers out on maternity, and she really supported the delivery of content. So we'll tackle it from both angles. From the administrative side, people are very motivated by what others do. I am not yet a parent, but I've noticed that parents are quite competitive. And so we did a lot of posting on social media to really show how families were really involved. And so that motivated other parents to be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that, like, I could upload my child's lessons, or, I noticed I haven't logged in. So that's definitely a great way. You want to let people know, like, hey, we're still open. We're still a vital business. We're still going forward. You want to make sure that you're doing that. Also, to kind of let go of that, like, parents may not turn in everything. Just because someone is not submitting something to Google Classroom does not mean that they're not doing the lessons. Maybe they're doing the lessons, but like the added of having to take photographs and pictures and turn something in seems it could be a lot for them. A lot of our families did participate in the video chats. So sometimes you get a lot of families that are very, very involved in the Google Meets and the Zooms and those things, but maybe not so much with the lessons, because maybe the children are sharing computers, or they have other kids in the home. So you want to be very flexible in understanding that, there's a lot of trauma going on around this experience. So I wouldn't really hold the parents to, like, I noticed that they're not turning in anything. Some parents did every single lesson that was given to them. That was probably giving them some resolve with their anxiety. Some parents, if they did every single lesson, they would have had anxiety. So I think it's really just meeting the parents where they are. We also implemented some one-on-one conversations with our families. So along with our Google Meets, we started doing one-on-one sessions with our kiddos, because we sort of noticed that some of our kiddos were like, they were coming in a video chat and they were like, why are there some friends at school and I'm here? That was causing them to be sad. So we did some one-on-one. That really gave some resolve as well. Ms. Rhainie, I don't know if you want to add maybe how you got parents involved and engaged.
Yeah, it was all about kind of trying to make it to where it felt like they never left. So a lot of times when I would do morning meetings, I would integrate the kiddos that were physically here at school so that our friends at home could still interact with their peers and things like that. So making sure that I did things that involved them into the meeting and they weren't just viewing me talk. So I would have discussions with them during our morning meetings or our story times. And just, like I said, giving them a variety that allow parents to not have to stagnantly sit there and watch their child listen to a teacher talk. But so I would like get up and move and dance with them. I made sure that I did things like I post reviews of what we did that day so that parents that maybe did not make it there for that particular morning meeting or story time still were able to revisit what we did that day and hopefully come for the next week and things like that. So
yeah. So just like that. And also too, you all are leaders in your, you are leaders in this, and parents really are looking to us. Like, while, some families know exactly, this is the next move I'm going to make. Many of the parents are very much in limbo. Parents are nervous about September. They're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And there's uncertainty on our end too. But I think if you go into this, like, look, this is what we're going to be doing, and being confident in that this is where you're going to deliver, and finding a medium and a platform that works best for you. You don't have to do all of these, and we're going to talk about that at the end. I think if you go forth with that messaging, families will support it. Just have to have a lot of faith. And so that's what we kind of did. This is very new. This is actually very groundbreaking. We did never in my 11 years, I'm kind of saying my age here, but never in my 11 years did I think that we would be doing distance learning for preschoolers. But again, I'm going to keep saying this word over again. It's about pivoting. And so, yeah. And Dani, there was another question you said.
Yes, there's actually a couple more in the chat now. So maybe we should, if you want to just
we can keep going. Yeah.
And we can do them at the end if there's time.
Yep. Perfect. All right, everybody. I promise.
And anybody that's listening that has a question and don't want to forget, put it in the Q&A box.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So just a little bit about Canva. So Canva is actually what I'm using right now to do these slides. So I create the slides. So Canva is a great way to create. Sorry, there we go. It's a great way to do presentation. So this is what it looks like when you go, and I'll go to my homepage. I have quite a few projects I'm working on here. But so as you can see, my brother does a bit of graphic designing with me. So we do our slideshows, we do flyers on Canva. So this is for our virtual end of the year celebration. Canva is great. They have some preset templates you can use and sort of just change out the text and the image. It's very user friendly. It's free. I do pay for the pro version, which is like $15 a month. However, you can get by significantly. I don't even think I bought the pro version for like the first 2 years of using Canva. I'm just more involved with it now. But you can do branding for your logo. So this is definitely a great tool to use. So you're definitely going to want to look at Canva. And on the tools that we're going to share with you, we have a link to get to Canva. We also have some video tutorials that can really show you how to use Canva. So this is great. Definitely something you want to use. It's great for Instagram. They already have like preset templates. So if I type in like Instagram here, they'll already have like the dimensions for it already. So when you don't have to crop this at all, it'll be like the perfect Instagram size. Alrighty. Let me do this. Okay. So the next thing is, I believe it's Book Creator, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Book Creator. So Book Creator is good because it allows for you to have a series of libraries that are online and that the children can make. So essentially the children are making the books. This is great for families or home and you guys want to co-collaborate on a book. It's also great when kiddos, if you already have kiddos at your school and they want to return, and when they return, and the cost, I believe it's like maybe $60 for a year or something like that, or $60, like a year. It's like really, really, really low cost. And you can get up to like 3 to 4 libraries with that can house up to like maybe 100 books that you can create. So I'm not even sure if we even do that in the year, depending on how large your centers are. But we'll look into Book Creator just really quickly so I can show you sort of what the books look like. So this is the web page. Actually, I can probably look at pricing right here. Oh, 180 books. Okay, yeah, for $60 per year, 3 libraries. Yeah, it's pretty low cost. And then, yeah, I'll show you some books that, this is a book that a kiddo, this is an example on their page. And you can do voiceover recordings, you can draw, they can draw pictures.
I want to go fishing.
I'll just do one more.
I wear shoes and bring a bucket.
So again, this is another great platform if you wanted to use that. Sorry, I have so much things open now. Let me close some of these things out. All right, and then, so most everybody is familiar with YouTube. One thing about YouTube that's nice, again, trying to keep costs low, YouTube is free. We use it for our virtual summer enrichment tools that we have, and I'll talk about that a little bit. What's nice about YouTube that some people may not know is that you can do video content on YouTube and you can make it password protected. It's also nice because, again, similar to Flipgrid, it's something that the kiddos can look at their own time, or the families look at their own time, so it allows for things to be self-paced. So, yeah, this is actually one of the lessons that I did while the kiddos, like the first 2 weeks we did this. Our kiddos was doing a lesson on making nature impressions with Play-Doh. So I did some pre-recording, and I, sort of demonstrated that out and then uploaded the videos. If you don't have a YouTube page as a school, I highly recommend it. It's another great way to generate interest in your program and just sort of have more of a worldwide connectivity with others. And this is this is our book fair that we host. Oops. Okay. So one thing that we did during virtual learning was during distance learning was a virtual field trip. So a virtual field trip that allows you to visit places that children may have never, visited before. So we went to the San Diego Zoo, which was really nice. And a lot of these different places, like the aquarium and planetarium and zoo, they have video cameras in their facilities. Largely, this was in response to COVID. They just asked for nominal donations. You don't have to donate, but you can if you decide to. So with the zoo, there were videos inside the zoo of the exhibits of the various animals. And so we made a comprehensive field trip. And I'll show a video of how we sort of organized that. We organized the delivery of the trip through a slideshow using Canva. The benefits of a field trip, again, you continue that engagement with your students at home, expansion of knowledge, an opportunity for children to interact with their friends, and then it can continue when they return, because again, you may never really actually go visit these places, but it's great to connect in that way. So I'll just show this video.
Hello, everyone. We want to thank our amazing kiddos and families of Discovery Lane. Thank you for joining us on our virtual field trip to the San Diego Zoo. To start our virtual field trip to the San Diego Zoo, we asked our kiddos, what do you think you'll see at the zoo? Then we transitioned to reading the book, Dear Zoo. Wheels up, it's time to fly to San Diego, California.
Oh, we're in the sky.
Get ready for a fun-filled adventure at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. 5 miles north of downtown San Diego. For over 40 years, this 1,800-acre sanctuary has been home.
The kiddos had a good time looking on the map to see which animals we might see on our zoo adventure. Notice on the map how there are circles around specific areas. Now we're ready to see the animals. San Diego Zoo graciously set up webcams so that you can actually see the animals in real time in the zoo habitats. The San Diego Zoo has information about the animals, and so as we visited each exhibit, I shared these facts with the kiddos.
To preserve, meaning keep, so that they have a home to live. So baby orangutans, they spend 6 to 8 months clinging to their mom
So holding on to their mom for 6 to 8 months, that's a very dedicated mother to have a baby on her, holding her for 6 to 8 months. Condor, very good, Kayla. Awesome.
When you're exploring the animals at the San Diego Zoo via the webcam, there is no sound. And so I did look up some nature sounds on YouTube to really give our kiddos that auditory experience they would have if they were physically visiting the zoo.
What is that? What is that waddling across the screen? Penguins at the zoo. Oh, there's a baby. Thank you, Jason. You guys see the baby? Very nice.
At the conclusion of our virtual field trip, we did a scavenger hunt to identify which animals
We saw the
we were able to see.
condor. There you go. Thank you, Amber. Very nice.
And so while we continue to practice being physically distant, let's remember that we can still connect. Thank you again to our parents, the San Diego Zoo, and our kiddos for this amazing experience.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yep. So that was our zoo. And again, if people have questions, I can respond to those. So that was really, really fun. Just keep in mind, San Diego, well, we're on the East Coast. So you might want to plan that timing just right. Because if you go too early on the East Coast, or too early whereas in the West Coast, they may not be alert. And their exhibits, the videos are live. So just keep that in mind. We've also had 2 virtual open houses that have been quite successful. So with our virtual open house, we it was completely online, like a Zoom video. And so we organized it by having the families RSVP. We had a slideshow. You can either use Zoom or Google Meet. We use Zoom. We did Canva. We used Canva to develop flyers and also this pamphlet that's being viewed here on the screen. And then we scheduled time slots because if there's a lot of families, sometimes it could be a lot in one Zoom or one Google Meet. And so you can have it on the same day, but just maybe have time slots. So we had one at 11 to 11:30, I think. And then the other was start at 11:45 to 12:15 or something like that. So those are things you might want to do. And I can sort of detail what we did in our slideshow. We had a voiceover, a little tour of our school. We had one thing that was really strong was that we had parents that are currently in our program participate in the virtual open house, and they spoke to our program. I think that was honestly more of a selling point than any beautiful slideshow or anything like that. It was seeing real life parents that have children enrolled in the program, and we are immeasurably grateful for our families and the dedication they have to our program. I mean, that's literally why we're still sustaining. And so we can't thank them enough for still continuing to champion our existence. So those are some things that I would definitely implement into a virtual open house. Keep it, time, maybe 30 minutes, time slots. Invite your current families to attend, maybe 1 or 2, to give just testimonials and speak about the program. And then just a lot for a Q&A if any families have any questions during the video chat. During the virtual open house. And I would say that we've enrolled 6 kiddos this way. Parents that have literally never physically stepped into our program enrolled because of this. And soon after, that Monday, we're I'm ready to go. In fact, the first one was where one parent emailed us. We weren't even 10 minutes later, she emailed us. So it went glowingly well. So I highly recommend that. Again, staying connected with your families. This year, we are implementing a virtual summer camp in our program. And so virtual summer camp allows for boosting enrichment, family connections, and flexible learning. So a little different than the distance learning. The virtual summer camps, only time we do themes in the summertime. So there's a theme each week. And so parents get access to a password protected page all at once. And then they self-paced. They can do the materials as they feel. There's enough to cover 10 weeks. So we did 1 lesson a day. We did PDF, so they get a link access to the PDF. And in fact, you know what? I can actually show you one really quickly so you can kind of see it better. Probably just show you than say it. It's taking 2 seconds. Let me see. I'll show Miss Rains. Let's give it a second to load. So What'll happen here is the families will, I'm on the back end, so the families will have access to this page, like their weekly themes, and it'll be password protected, and then they can, this here has like the beginning, trying to X out this visual so you can see it as they would see it. Here's like a checklist before they begin. Then we did like a welcome video as well as a read aloud. So these are pre-recorded. And then this is a link access. There it is. This is a link access to the lesson plan. And then this is to allow them to register. So for Zoom. So we're going to do one live Zoom for the for summer enrichment that they can sign up for. So this is a lesson that the teachers did. And the parents would just follow this. I'm trying to, if I go back, I don't want to go all the way back. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. Okay, yeah. And then again, we just have all the teachers pre-recorded welcome video that I uploaded on YouTube, totally free.
Hello, Imaginators. My name is Miss Rain, and I will be your instructor for Imaginatorium. During this week, we will activate our imagination and engage our creativity. Let's welcome freedom of expression with art, create opportunities to broaden our thinking through discussion, and promote limitless possibilities to explore and learn. So grab your curiosity bag and let's dig in to see what our imagination has in store. Enjoy, friends.
So that was Miss Rain. And this is like a little narrative. So the parents were able to create this whole platform. I have a lot of experience in web designing, so I essentially was able to do all of this. So this was no cost to us. So if one parent just signed up for virtual summer enrichment, that was a profit for us. But I don't think it even has to even be this involved. Again, present, go do. Sorry, let me get my words together. Work where your skills are. So don't see this and say, oh my goodness, I have to have this comprehensive web page. This is where my skills lie. I think parents appreciate just anything, honestly. Just, again, that connectivity and staying informed. I know parents, I've been getting calls from parents like, I haven't heard anything from my child's school. It wasn't even that they were concerned about like lesson plans. They hadn't even heard anything. So again, stay connected with your families. All right. So we're just about finished. Told you I'm really good with time. Miss Rain and I really we're committed to that. So yeah, we talked about the virtual summer camp. So this is how they signed up. And I set all that up for them. This is what you'll receive at the end of the presentation. After this is all over, I gave Dani this link. So this is the web page that will be shared with you. I want to do one more poll. I am interested in, and I'll also, after this poll, I'll tell you about our virtual end of the year celebration. But Dani, if we could do the poll where I just want to know currently how everyone is operating. Perfect. So if you could just answer this, what is the current operating state of your program? If you're doing distance learning only, a combination of distance learning, and also serving children of essential personnel, serving children of essential personnel only, serving children of both non-essential and essential personnel, or if you're temporarily closed and not offering distance learning. All right, and I guess we'll go ahead and, sure, everybody's probably just about finished. We can share the results. Oh, excellent. Okay, so we're doing distance learning only, serving children of essential personnel only. Some people are temporarily closed and not offering distance learning. Oh, it's about half and half there. Okay, awesome. And then serving children of non-essential and essential personnel. And, oh, no one's doing a combination of both. Okay, yeah, we were doing a combination of both things. So just know those are, just because you're serving children physically doesn't mean you still can't offer essential. You offer as many things as you can so that you're, again, generating that revenue. All right, awesome. And then I'll just show you really quickly. We did again, staying connected with our families. We did do an end of the year celebration that was virtual. So I'll just show you, take some of my screen. Oh, wrong thing. So we invited the DJ from my wedding, actually DJ'd for free. So we did breakout rooms in Zoom. So every kiddo went to their respective classrooms. In the breakout rooms, the teachers presented a slideshow of their picture and their name, and their families unmuted themselves and cheered the kids on. It was a whole thing. Okay, so this is a book author. Again, reach out to people. People are like so gracious right now and just wanting to connect. I found this book. Every year we gift our kiddos with a book, our graduates. And so I found the book Hooray for You. And I happened to find the author, reached out to her on Instagram, and she graciously pre-recorded a video of her reading to our children. Literally didn't ask for anything, just asked for some pictures and videos of the kiddos receiving the books. I reached out to the community and said, hey, I want to gift our kiddos with this book, our graduates. We ended up getting a huge response. In 2 hours. We were able to give every child at our school a book. So that was excellent. So our virtual New Year celebration was $0. And then we also invited, again, the DJ from my wedding. He gave his time freely. We did gift him with just about showing our appreciation, but he didn't ask for anything. And he's a professional DJ. He played for 30 minutes, played a ton of kiddo songs. Unfortunately, y'all, Hip Hop Harry didn't get in there. But all the others, Katy Perry, all those songs the kids like, and the parents were able to write in the chat what they like. It was so professional. So, actually reach out to him if you guys are interested in his services. He was phenomenal. Same with the book author, reach out to these people. People are really, they're wanting to connect. This is obviously us. I'm just going to show, I think this is going to be like a little, I don't know why that's blank. I know why it's blank. That was the Blackout Tuesday. I was trying to see if I could show the video. Or maybe, here it is. So it's a little bit of the author. I don't know how this will play on. I'll show like a really small clip.
Hello, Discovery Lane. My name is Marianne Richmond, and your teachers contacted me to do a very special reading for you because they shared with me that you are graduating, and that is so exciting.
So I had never met this woman. I contacted her. Miss Rain continued the conversation and dialogue. She's a complete gem. And we found her because we found the book, and I was like, let me see what she's willing to do. And so she was wonderful. So thank you, Marianne. Richmond, she's phenomenal. And I actually saw her book in Target. I was like, oh my God, here's her book right in Target. She had quite a few books. So her books are quite popular. But yeah, so again, reach out to people. Don't, stay encouraged, definitely. All right, so just to close out, so we want you to take your time. Don't overwhelm yourself. We gave a lot of information today. You're going to get access to this presentation. Unpack it. Take your time. I just share with you that I do websites and I do a lot of graphic designing and things like that. But guess what? I still have to YouTube a ton of things. I still get frustrated with technology. It still takes me a considerable amount of time to do sometimes like a simple icon. So take your time. In fact, I always tell people, if you're not frustrated with technology, you're not probably doing it right. Because at some point in time, you're going to be like, what is going on? Use the tools that make sense for your program. So you don't have to feel like you don't have to use all these tools that we shared. If something that we spoke to you, about the delivery of the content, about the pace of it, take what you can. My grandma always says, take the meat, spit out the bones. Stay open-minded and explore all the possibilities. Again, I was very, and I'm very transparent as a leader. I was like, what is virtual? What is virtual open house? I don't think I'm doing that. What is a virtual field trip? But I had to be like, what do my families need? And a lot of it was just me being scared about learning new things. And then collaborate with colleagues and family. So, you all are leaders, whatever position you are. I happen to be the designated leader at my school as the co-owner, but never am I removed from being a mentee, and my team is always leading me as well. And they're extraordinary in what they do. And so I never, I'm always learning as well. And so just remember to continue to collaborate with your colleagues and families and listen to what your families are saying and what their needs are, because they have a lot of ideas that, that they're sharing. So that's that. This is our contact information. I will leave this here so you all can write it down. I think the next slide is just like Q&A if you guys have questions, which we're going to do. But this is both our information. You can reach us through this email. You can also reach me at my other email, which is my first and last name here at thediscoverylane.com. So either will work. You'll get me, and then Miss Rain's information is there as well if you have any questions for Miss Rain. So Dani, we're ready for the questions.
Okay, perfect. I just want to say that you guys gave so much great information. The presentation and everything that you're doing is very well put together, and I loved your closing points. You know, I was actually going to jump in at the end and mention some of those things, like, oh my gosh, this is great information. It might be overwhelming to some who might not be as familiar with the technology, but just like Shante said, do what you can. You don't have to use all of these resources, but if you can, like, take a couple of days to study one tool and implement that, and slowly, integrate as much as you can into your programs. Just like Shante said, it's about pivoting to show up, where your kids need you. But so the other question from us, the registrations, was someone wants to know how I guess how do you get paid? So I guess you're asking about the transaction for an online preschool.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Rain, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah. So one of the platforms we spoke about is Brightwill, and that is actually how we how we send invoices to our families and receive payment. So as our families register for our program, they are also registering to use Brightwill. So Brightwill is not only how they check up on their kids throughout the day, but it's also our billing platform.
Yep. And then with the summer enrichment, I connected PayPal to that, and the parents paid directly on the website for that. Mm-hmm. So that did that one a little bit different with the because virtual summer enrichment, I didn't just keep it to our families. Again, right. Thinking about generating revenue, I opened it to the community at large.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just add in that, like, if you don't, let's say you're a program that does not have, this fancy website where you're able to integrate PayPal or any sort of payment processing. I do know of other childcare programs that are asking parents to pay via, like, Venmo or mm-hmm. Cash App or anything like that. So these everyday apps and things that you're using, you can set up a business account, connect your business bank account to it, and come up with something that works for you and your program.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't think, if anything, again, do what you can. If you get too involved and it's getting complicated, then yeah, you want to make things very simple, and they'll be simple based upon your skill level to sort of create these tools for families.
Right. The next question is, did you provide the digital content daily? Like, were there video chats done daily?
So because we had students here physically at the school, we had schedules for things like one-on-ones and distance learning. So each week our teachers would reach out to their families and let them know, like, these are the designated days that we will have morning meeting. Our families were able to register for one-on-one sessions through Setmore. So each teacher had an allotted time throughout a day or two throughout the week where parents can sign up for the one-on-one sessions, as well as they were scheduled for our read aloud. So pretty much the schedule stayed the same. My days were like Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10:30 each day. So and that we would reach out to our families, like, via email to just remind them that we will be meeting virtually. As far as our digital content, as far as, like, things that we posted on Google Classroom, we did post that daily. We did 2 lessons a day. So on Google Classroom, you're able to kind of pre-schedule lessons. So each morning at 7 o'clock, your 2 lessons are posted for your families to view and to actually engage in that day.
Okay. Thank you. The next question is, did all families participate, and what did you charge? And I don't know if you're not comfortable sharing exactly what you charge. I think that what we charge in our programs, whether it be for live, classes or just regular childcare or virtual, can vary depending on what part of the country you're in. So
Yeah.
would you be able to at least share like maybe the percentage in comparison to your tuition rate? Like, what did you charge for this virtual experience?
Yeah. So the first part of that question was, say to me one time, I think it's something about how
Oh,
many.
yes. Did all families participate?
So when our program capacity is 60 children, and we have a waiting list. So by, how do I say, like, pretty much you have to tell parents, like, this is what we're going to be doing. Like, I know we want to obviously be responsive and sensitive, but we gave parents like 3 options. You can disenroll at this point, disenroll with 30 days notice is following our policies and procedures. You can do distance learning. Or if you lost your job or something, reach out to us. Most parents, we didn't honor, you lost your job. We have a moral conscience to respond, so we didn't hold them to that 30 days. So that was sort of the options that we gave families. I would say, probably. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ms. Rain.
About 50% of our kiddos, we had about 29.
Do distance learning, yeah, and about 15 children came to Discovery Lane. So we probably lost, maybe at that point in time, that was back in March, we probably lost maybe 15% of our kiddos, so not a lot. And then now that we are in June, everybody's circling right. People are just, again, we did the virtual open house, and so it's the numbers are picking back up again. So we'll probably likely be at capacity in September. It's just going in that direction. Because things are opening back up, and other programs may not open back up, sadly. But the other question was, how much do we charge? I don't mind sharing our fees because they're public, they're on our website. But we're in the DMV area, so keep that in mind. If you're like if you're in the southern part of the country, I know the rates are probably like much cheaper than like the DMV, which is like one of the most costly places to live next to New York City and San Francisco. But our rates are, our 2-year-olds are about $255 a week. Our 3-year-olds are $245, and our 4 and 5-year-olds are $235 a week. So we did our weekly tuition rate, and we gave the parents 25% off the weekly tuition rate for any kiddo that was doing distance learning. For the virtual summer enrichment, because that's self-paced, and we're only going to do like 1 Zoom video per teacher a week. So each teacher will be assigned a Zoom video a week. We did a bundle. I think it was like $296 for like 10 weeks of lessons. And then if they wanted to, again, it's a la carte, so they can pick week by week, or they can buy the bundle. So some parents may want to pick like Kidchella, and there's no place like home. They're about $37 per week. So you kind of have to sort of kind of gauge in that way. And this is all on our website. So when our website is www.thediscoverylane.com. So this here, www in front of there. And you can go to our summer enrichment tab, and you can see all of our prices there. And then if you go to our enrollment tab on our website, you can see our tuition rates. And again, keeping in mind that we did 25% off.
Right. And just as a note, I think that it's great that you have those 2 different prices based on the service and product that you're providing. I wouldn't want to encourage providers watching or listening to be like, oh, we'll just charge basically our tuition rate or 20% off and then not deliver. If you guys notice, look at the content that Discovery Lane is continuing to deliver to their families. It's worth it. So whatever your virtual experience is going to be, whether it be something to this extent or just checking in once or twice a week, and, make your price based on that. Unless you, of course, have some sort of hard and strict policy about tuition is based on enrollment and not attendance. So regardless of what you're doing, whether you're providing nothing, maybe parents should still pay. But that's really up to you and your policies. The next question is, the virtual open house is an awesome idea. Did your parents who spoke refer prospective parents to the open house? Which kind of ties into a question I wanted to ask, which was, how did you spread the word about your open house? So was it like referrals or?
Yeah, so we just we put it on Instagram. Instagram is great. Instagram is free, so is Facebook. Also, if you ever want to advertise, it's like really cheap to advertise on Facebook. So we do like $5 a day and reach like 5,000 people. Because our seating is so limited at our program, we're kind of very careful about how much we advertise, because it's so hard for us to turn families away. But I would definitely, my recommendation, I just remember our beginning stages when we're in our infancy stage, is definitely to we get referrals. So if a parent refers and the person stays for 30 days, maybe they get a week free. Yeah, I would just say, use those platforms. Also, too, when people are calling for your program, ask them how they heard about you, because that's where you want to generate your marketing tools too. So like a lot of our families find us on Google. We're high ranked on Google. So I put a lot of stock into making sure that like all of our information is accurate. Our website is more friendly, so we keep that high ranking on Google. So really ask people how they're finding you. And then when people call, direct them to your social media site. Hey, follow us on Instagram. We're constantly, updating things on there. That way because people don't always go back and visit websites. But if they follow you on social media, they may forget you. And then one day you scroll and go, oh, yeah, I remember looked to this place before. So you definitely want to do that. And contrary to belief, business cards are still very much viable. I know people aren't necessarily doing physical contact in these days, but yeah, I think using some of that printed literature as well. If you have a brick and mortar, maybe like a sign outside. But for our one open house, we had I think the first one we had 5 parents, which I thought was kind of a lot for a virtual open house. So if you even get 2 parents, that's better than 0. And many programs aren't even doing virtual open houses. So you're going to be doing something that's innovative and different from others. So likely those parents will enroll.
Yeah. And just my little 2 cents is, if you feel like you don't have the technology or the understanding of how to implement like a live virtual house experience, one of the things that I've done in my program was to do we did a pre-recorded video of going through the whole building, adding in some, I had my operations manager speak. It was edited, voiced over, but again, whatever you're capable of doing something is better than nothing when we're, there's a lot of families to attract right now. Like Shante said, some daycares did not survive this pandemic. So you want to make sure that those kids that now need childcare are showing up to your program versus the one, down the street.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all for the questions.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shante and Rhainie. This was great. This was valuable information. Again, the replay will be sent to you guys tomorrow, so I hope you didn't break your fingers trying to write down all this stuff. We're going to send you the replay, and you can have access to it for a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely everybody be encouraged to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We'll be willing to even do some one-on-one consultations, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes if people need any support, tech support.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And thank you to everybody that's watching.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you have any questions about what Shante and Rhainie discussed during this webinar, please leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what some of your thoughts are. And again, if you have any questions, hopefully I can provide some answers. And if I can't, I will certainly try to reach out to them and get those answers for you. Next week's webinar will be hosted by yours truly. I am actually going to be hosting next week's webinar because it's been a minute since I talked directly to you guys live, and there are just certain things that I want to share with you guys about how you can survive and thrive, as the title says, throughout this summer and beyond, you know, this whole crisis situation. We really need to pivot, as Shante mentioned within her webinar, and figure out either new or better methods of running our childcare businesses. So that's what I will be reviewing next week, as well as giving you guys a special announcement. Head on over to childcaresites.com to subscribe and to register for that specific webinar, as well as all of the ones coming up after that. And if you're not already, please scroll down and click that subscribe button to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell after you subscribe, so that you can get notified every single time I post a new video here on this channel, which right now is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one on Tuesday. Bye-bye.